For this final story, can we all just agree that Donald Trump is not all there? I mean, we just saw a clip of Donald Trump from just, 2015, 2016. Totally different person in terms of speaking style, cadence, the way he moves. I mean, it is a fact that as you get older, things slow down, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think what we're seeing with Trump is different than just normal decline as you age. As we know, Nancy Pelosi, though might look older, she's still 100% there. And though I hate Chuck Grassley, don't like Chuck Grassley, that man is sharp, okay? So getting old does not necessarily mean losing your wits. But I think there's something different going on with Donald Trump, and I think the media is doing a good job covering up. Sometimes it comes out a little bit, and we see reality for what it is. And Megyn Kelly, of all people, has even mentioned this. So before we get to that clip, let's just hear what Megyn Kelly has to say about Donald Trump's mental decline.
But there's no question Trump has lost a step or multiple steps. He is confusing Joe Biden for Obama. I know he's now saying he intentionally did that. Go back and look at the clips. It wasn't intentional. It was look, any of us could have a slip of the tongue, but it's happening to him repeatedly. The reference about how somebody's going to get us into World War II, confusing countries, confusing cities where he is. It's happening more and more. With all due respect to Trump, this is what happens when you're 77 years old.
Yeah.
Trump seems inhuman, but he's not inhuman. He's a human. He's a man. DeSantis' line about Father Time spares no one was a good one. But there's no question Trump.
Yeah. So there is no question Trump is losing it. And the most powerful person in the world, we don't know what his fitness is. I will not trust the doctors who evaluate Trump, whatever that means. Donald Trump was just not there during the prayer breakfast. I want to give you the facts before we hear what he says. Water supplies from North Carolina played no part in the ability of firefighters to combat the flames in Los Angeles County. If the purpose was to help with fires in Southern California, we do not believe that it will, because that's not where the water goes. Okay, so he's talking about water. He's talking about flowing it. Let's just get into it. But what he's saying here is not true.
Because the environmentalists didn't want water. They still don't want it. If they had their choice, they don't want it. I said, are you crazy? And I'm sure you've seen it. The water comes down from the northwest parts of Canada, I guess, but the Pacific Northwest. And it comes down by millions and millions of barrels a day. And I opened it up. It wasn't that easy to do. But I opened it up, and it's pouring down, and it's a beautiful thing. And it should have happened. I told them to do it in my last term. They didn't do it, but now we just did it. They didn't want to do it, but we did it. Because the environment and...
Yeah, did any of you get that? So Donald Trump thinks water takes down from Canada. What the heck is he talking about? Does he literally think that because Canada is above the U.S. on a map, water must automatically flow south? Oh my God, he actually believes that. Measuring river in barrels, a standard unit of measurement for oil, is so perfectly Trump. The New York Times editorial board would not have enough room on its opinion page for the Biden must resign pieces if he said any of this. Yes, absolutely. This is 100% nonsense. It's pouring into the Pacific Ocean. Every water pro in California is shaking their head and rolling their eyes. Trump has no understanding of complicated water issues. None. He is wasting water, which is a precious supply in California, which doesn't get enough rain. Not one word of this is true. Not one. Even the articles and prepositions are lies because of their association with nouns and verbs. That's very, very funny. Here is Congressman Lou explaining what this water is really there for.
I just want to explain, when you solve for the wrong problem, not only do you not get the solution, you can cause harm. So Donald Trump has it in his mind that somehow there's a spigot in Northern California, he's going to open a valve and dump water to Southern California. Here are the facts. Southern California's reservoirs are at near record levels when this fire happened. Didn't matter, because Donald Trump then ordered the Army Corps of Engineers to release over 2 billion gallons of water that almost flooded farmland, if not for the local water districts that pushed back. But guess what? This water was saved for the farmers for the summer season when they needed the water. And so the president wasted all this water that isn't even reaching Southern California. It's going to evaporate for a PR stunt. So this was a harmful, ludicrous action to solve for the wrong problem.
Yeah. So that is the problem with having a president who is a narcissist and who is also losing his mind, because he does stuff like this and he thinks because he survived an assassination attempt, because he's been the president twice, and because he is a sociopathic narcissist, he thinks that anything he thinks of must be the right answer, and it wasn't. And this, what I love that Congressman Liu did there was that he didn't make it about the process. And I think that's something that we as Democrats get stuck on a lot, is we want to talk about the facts and the figures, and we want to talk about how you didn't sign this form, blah, 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 blah. But humans are storytellers. Before we could read or write, we were telling stories. And the most persuasive thing we can do with our messaging is tell the stories of how Donald Trump's insanity is hurting us, is hurting others. So Congressman Liu there saying that this water was intended for farmers and that it could flood the farmers because too much was released is a great start, because everything he's doing, from the eggs to Doge to USAID, these all have human impacts. So my hope is that Democrats will take the very real stories from people who are going to be negatively impacted by these decisions that are being made on a whim, whether they be through Doge, USAID, or any sort of stupid decision Donald Trump makes. And we either find them and we share their stories, or the people who share their stories online, there's lots of content on TikTok. We just amplify it, because we need to have our own Laken Riley Act. There needs to be something like that we can fight for, that represents the totality of all of the danger Donald Trump is putting us in, whether it be the planes falling down or the water flowing when it shouldn't. So Democrats, please keep telling stories about human beings, not about agencies, not about government employees, about Americans getting damaged by Trump's own decisions. Okay, well, that's all I got. Thank you so much. This is my final day. I really do appreciate you all just like welcoming me. The comments have been so nice and joyful, and it's just been a real treat to be able to be here on the David Pakman Show. David doesn't know this, but I used to watch this show a lot before I got into YouTube, and I actually, he was very inspiring to me. So it has been kind of like a really beautiful 360 moment to be here on the show when it was something that I used to watch and aspire to. So thank you all so much for watching. I am Keith Edwards. I do host the Keith Edwards Show here on YouTube. If you'd like this reporting, please come check me out. We've got a great community over there, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Once again, Donald Trump's cabinet picks are all about loyalty over expertise. Election denier Kari Lake to lead Voice of America, the government-funded broadcaster meant to report unbiased news. Ground News found hundreds of articles covering this story, which is an app I've trusted for years to help me critically analyze the news I consume. Our sponsor, Ground News, doesn't tell you what to think. They show you each news outlet's biases, credibility, financial incentives, so you know who's benefiting from the spin they put on each story. You can even filter out certain sources you don't want, so you can stay informed without getting buried in the noise. Trump is shaping our future in ways that will last decades. And if we're not paying attention, we will allow history to repeat itself. So stay engaged with Ground News, who is fixing what is breaking right in front of us, the trust and transparency in the media. Ground News is giving my audience 50% off the same Vantage plan that I use. Go to ground.news/Pacman. The link is in the description, or scan my QR code.